Developing news coming out today, January the 13th, 2025. As many of you have already let me know, people have been messaging me this morning about the 6.8 magnitude earthquake that rocked Japan this morning. And there were tsunami warnings that were triggered, and also a lot of people concerned about what is going to be going on in here in the United States along the West Coast in California. A lot of people concerned about the impacts that potentially could be here, and also alerts coming out. So let me go ahead and share with you what is coming out, because like I said, people messaging me, letting me know what's going on. I want to give an update. We do have some updates as to what has been unfolding this morning. A lot of this is probably already has gotten to you guys. People have been updating me. Let me share with you the latest. Now, as you can see, today, January the 13th, 2025, you can see that there was a strong earthquake that hit the southwestern Japan region, triggering a temporary tsunami alert today, January the 13th, 2025. Now, the update coming out is that the tsunami advisory, it has been lifted after a strong earthquake rocked Japan's coast. Now, it says the U.S. Geological Survey put the earthquake's preliminary magnitude at a 6.8. So this was a rocking earthquake this morning. Let me know in the comments if you heard of this. Like I said, a lot of people letting me know already, hey, what is going on with the tsunami warnings and the earthquakes today? So let me get you caught up. If you knew about this, you heard about it already, put a 1. If you were one of the ones that had not heard about this yet, put a 2. I'm going to get you guys caught up. Now, in addition to that, take a look at this. Concerns about what is going to be happening on the West Coast. You know, we actually have heard about these rocking in the Pacific, the Ring of Fire, and about the potential aftershocks and earthquakes that could be felt. No tsunami threat for the United States. After powerful magnitude 6.8 earthquake strikes off the coast of Japan, you can see that this is a concern of people's. They're saying, hey, what about what's going to be happening in the United States when we have earthquakes that rock Japan? And we actually had serious warnings unfolding before. And wow, okay, I'm surprised to see a lot of 2s. A lot of people saying they had no idea that there was a 6.8 magnitude earthquake that hit Japan today, and that there was tsunami alerts that were issued. And people were concerned about what was going to be happening on the West Coast here. Now, so let me go ahead and share with you what has unfolded. So again, for those of you hopping on a little bit late, what we had was earlier this morning, there was a massive earthquake that rocked Japan, 6.8 magnitude off of the coast. There was tsunami alerts that were put into place, and there was concerns about how this potentially could be impacting the West Coast. Are we going to be seeing some earthquakes over here or potential tsunami waves? So let me get you caught up. So we're hearing that no, the tsunami alerts are off at this time. But take a look at this. Also, this rings in our ears because just about a month ago, you'll recall there was a tsunami warning in California and Oregon that was lifted after a 7.0 magnitude earthquake shook Northern California. So this is fresh on the minds of people right now with what just happened a month ago. And it just seems like there is thing after thing happening with potential threats, attacks, natural disasters. We have fires raging out of control. We have earthquakes taking place. I shared with you just the other day, we had a fire tornado. I think it was Saturday night, if I remember correctly. And take a look at this. Actually, in Northern California as well, you can see coming out January the 12th at 10:49 a.m. just yesterday, there actually was a 3.5 magnitude earthquake in Pleasantville Hills, California. So there are earthquakes that are shaking right now. The earth is trembling all around the Pacific at this time, from Japan all the way to the west coast of the United States. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, a lot of people very concerned and shook up with what has unfolded over the past month. And we are actually hearing that, take a look at this. People were asking me about this as well. This was actually trending on X. 50-hour warning of a major earthquake that is likely to hit Southern California, most likely in Los Angeles or Ventura County during the next 50 hours from June 12th to June 13th today. So this warning was issued out. People very concerned about the potential impacts of a major earthquake that could rock the West Coast. Now, I thought this was very interesting because I know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they can detect the movements of the tectonic plates moments before, but I don't know if they can predict it 48 hours ahead of time. As you can see that this was released on the 11th. Let me know. Do you think that that is possible? From my understanding, it is not. We are not able to predict them that far ahead. I think it's literally like moments before you might be alerted. They might get some activity coming in. But I don't think that you can tell it this far ahead. Well, according to this, And so, like, I'm not sure, and I'm not a earthquakeologist or whatever it's called. It says right here, readers have added context to this image. It says, according to the USGS, there's no evidence that earthquakes can be predicted. Therefore, there's no data that supports this prediction. But right now, a lot of people very concerned, and as I mentioned, a lot of people very jumpy. As in the past month, we did see a 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit Northern California, which sparked a tsunami warning in Northern California, which was eventually lifted. And then we also had that happen in Japan just this morning. So we saw Japan rocked by a 6.8 magnitude earthquake with a tsunami alert that was issued. And then there was concerns right now for California. What is going on? And so we're hearing that these alerts, they have been lifted. Now, this comes as right now, a little bit of water would be nice. Not saying we need a tsunami, but right now, take a look at this. January the 13th, we're hearing that Los Angeles wildfire updates. The authorities are investigating the cause of these deadly fires. As we are hearing, they are saying that this was no accident. They're saying that this is arson. And take a look at this. Also coming out today, this morning, Los Angeles wildfires, California Firebug arrested, caught on video as police warn of arsonists. Police and Los Angeles County residents are on the lookout for a potential arsonist today, January the 13th, 2025. As they are saying that they believe that all of these fires that are taking place right now, somebody is doing them. These are not natural causes. This is not climate change. They're saying somebody is going around. This is coming out from the police, okay, not from politicians. The police are saying they believe what they are seeing is somebody is going around and lighting these fires. And people have been speculating, is this eco attacks from foreign actors? Is this eco attacks from local actors? Is there something, something is going on here? They're saying to have these many fires at this time of the year so aggressively to the point where we can't contain them. They believe that there are arsonists on the loose right now, just devastating the people of Southern California. So, like I said, though, I'm going to get you guys caught up on the latest information. I'm going to be referencing these articles that the majority of them have come out today regarding the tsunami warning that came out after that massive 6.8 earthquake hit Japan. People concerned about what was going to be happening here on the West Coast. They clarified there is no tsunami alert over here, but people also wondering, are we going to get hit by a major earthquake in Southern California yet again? As there was predictions coming out. So for all the people that have been messaging me, asking me this morning about the tsunami alerts and about the earthquakes, wanted to get you guys caught up, give you some updates, some articles, give you some sources so that way you can see it for yourself and know exactly what is going on. Now, in addition to that, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so because we're going to have more updates coming out here. This one's going to be dedicated to what has unfolded with the natural disasters this morning. However, also, yes, it is true. The IRS did an update today saying that those stimulus checks for people who missed them, they are on their way. So that is right now all a buzz around the media. People are wondering what's going on with the checks. And yes, as well, for those of you who want some World War III updates and the conflicts going on around the world, we're also receiving word that China is stepping up their preparations for war as they're creating mobile barges similar to World War II. They're saying in preparation for a invasion, a soldier ground invasion upon Taiwan. Now, I'm going to do more research on these. I'm not prepared to report on them right now. Like I said, I try to do research, get you articles, cite the sources. I'm still putting together some information on these, but if you're not subscribed, do so that way you can get caught up on these. I'm planning on releasing more information on these today, January the 13th, 2025. There's a lot of news coming out today. So if you haven't done so yet, again, subscribe. If you've already subscribed, make sure you're staying subscribed. People letting me know that they've been unsubscribed from the channel. They didn't do it. They come back the next day and they are unsubscribed from the Steve Ram channel. Also, hit the like button for me if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate it a ton. Helps out the channel, helps the information go further across the platform, helps it get recommended to more people. And also, like I said, I cite all of the articles in the description for you. I do it like a book report to hold myself accountable to the community so you can see the sources, know where it's coming from, see the dates, and you can rest assured that it is the latest. So again, if you appreciate that, hit that like button for me. Resources also linked down below as well. But let's go ahead and get right to it so that way you guys can see the latest and I see the comments pouring in from people. I see Darla saying, Steve, hope you're having a great day. I see Ingrid saying, stay safe, everyone. I see somebody saying, just thought there was an earthquake. It was my mom falling out of bed. LaDonna says, thank you, Steve. You are very welcome. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and get you caught up as to what has unfolded this morning for those of you guys that have been asking about what is going on. Let's go ahead and switch over to here so that way you can see the latest articles and get you caught up. So there was a strong earthquake that hit the southwestern coast of Japan, triggering a temporary tsunami alert. And here's some of the reports that had come out from CBS News. Now, this says Japan issued a tsunami advisory after a magnitude 6.6 earthquake struck the southwestern part of the country. The country's meteorological agency said Monday that there was a public warning to stay away from the coastal areas that was later lifted. The agency initially gave the magnitude estimate a 6.9, but later revised it down. An official first told reporters the lowered magnitude was 6.7, but the agency then released a statement with the magnitude revised to 6.6. There were no immediate reports of damage. Residents in some coastal areas were told to evacuate as a precautionary measure. One man was slightly injured in a city after falling down some stairs, according to the NHK TV reports. Trains stopped running in a city station as well, stranding passengers. NHK said a tsunami estimated to be as high as 3.2 feet reached land within 30 minutes of the earthquake. The waters detected at the Mayaski port measured 8 inches high, the reports said. Now, tsunami advisories were issued for Mayaski Prefecture, where the quake was centered. Now, in the southwestern island as well of Kyushu, as well as nearby Kochi Prefecture in Shikoku Island, shortly after the quake struck at 9:19 p.m., according to agencies. They were all called off shortly before the midnight. Now, the U.S. Geological Survey revised its estimates down from 6.9, adding that there is no tsunami threat from this earthquake for the United States. So again, a lot of people very concerned about the United States right now, very jumpy with what unfolded last month when we had those tsunami warnings. And so the U.S. Geological Survey revised the estimate down to 6.9 and clarified there is no tsunami threat from this earthquake for the United States at this time. So good news for the West Coast. Now, the JMA nevertheless urged the public to stay away from coastal waters. Tsunami can strike repeatedly. Please do not enter the sea or go near the coasts, the agency said on social media. Agency officials told reporters that people should watch for landslides as well as falling objects in homes. Aftershocks are possible as well, especially in the next 2 or 3 days. So, again, the concern is aftershocks, and they call this area around the Pacific the Ring of Fire, with all the plates moving, all the potential earthquakes that strike. You have the San Andreas Fault in Southern California. You have the faults over by Japan. These areas shake, and it's not uncommon for us to have major earthquakes and then have more following as a result, as one after the other starts hitting and we have these aftershocks. Now, the quake, centered at a depth of 18.6 miles, shook a wide area in Kyushu, the southwestern main island, Japan's meteorological agency said. NHK TV footage showed moving traffic and well-lit streets, meaning that electrical power was still working. No problems were detected at the various monitoring posts for nuclear plants in the area. Japan is frequently hit by earthquakes due to its location along the Ring of Fire, an arc of volcanoes, and fault lines in the Pacific Basin, as we had just mentioned. Now, experts at the meteorological agency met late Monday to gauge how the latest temblor may be related to the so-called Nankai through quakes, but decided not to take any extraordinary measures for the time being. The term refers to a wide region believed to be prone to periodic major quakes. Now, the Nankai True quake of Shikoku in 1946 ended more than 1,300 lives. Last August, a powerful earthquake struck off southern Japan, causing mostly minor injuries but raising the level of concern over possible major quakes stemming from an undersea throw east of the coast. An earthquake on January 1st of 2024 in Japan's northern central region of Noto left more than 240 people losing their lives. Japan has strict construction regulations intended to ensure buildings can withstand strong earthquakes and routinely holds emergency drills to prepare for a major jolt. But the country is haunted by the memory of a massive 9.0 magnitude undersea quake off northern Japan in March of 2011, which triggered a tsunami that left around 18,500 people losing their lives. In 2011, tsunami also sent 3 reactors into meltdown at the Fukushima nuclear plant, causing Japan's worst post-war disaster and the most serious nuclear accident since Chernobyl. In March of 2022, a 7.4 magnitude quake off the coast of Fukushima shook large areas of eastern Japan, ending the lives of 3 people as well. The capital, Tokyo, was devastated by a huge earthquake just over a century ago in 1923. Agence France Presse contributed to this report. So there you have it. This coming out from CBS News. And so that is what has unfolded. Now, as I mentioned, we're hearing that tsunami advisory, it has been lifted after that massive earthquake this morning. They're saying that the U.S. Geological Survey put the quake preliminary magnitude at a 6.8, but now we're hearing it's dropped down to a 6.6. And those tsunami advisory warnings are being lifted. A tsunami advisory has now been lifted after early morning in the wake of the strong earthquake Monday off the coast of Japan's Miyazaki Prefecture, officials have said. The U.S. Geological Survey put the quake's preliminary magnitude at a 6.8. The Japan Meteorological Agency said that it had an intensity of a lower 5 on the Japanese scale of 0 to 7. Now, the quake began at around 9:19 p.m. local time, with its epicenter a few miles offshore at the depth of about 19 miles, Japanese American officials have said. The Japanese Weather Agency had issued a tsunami advisory for Miyazaki and Kochi prefectures with expected heights of about 1 meter. One tsunami wave measures about 8 inches reached some of the coasts and the ports around 10 p.m., authorities said. They warned residents to continue staying away from the coast and other waterways. In Kochi Prefecture, residents of some areas were advised to evacuate. Japanese weather officials said about an hour after the quake that there were still gathering information about disruptions. Some train services were halted, and it was unclear when they would be restarted. Authorities warned that aftershocks and other jolts may still arrive, so residents should stay in a safe place. Residents were cautioned to be wary of broken glass or other debris. Significant damages has not yet been reported, and there have been no abnormalities in the radiation levels or operations in regional nuclear power plants, officials have said. So, so far we're hearing not major reports of damage, no injuries at this time that we are hearing of that are very severe. There was a major earthquake. They're checking on the nuclear power plants. Appears that everything is okay at this time. And again, a lot of people concerned, what about what is going to be happening here on the West Coast with this? Because as you guys know, this is all a part of the Ring of Fire. When one area starts quaking, there's potential for other areas as well. People concerned, what about over here on the West Coast? So at this time, here's an article that came out from Fox Weather. No tsunami threat for the U.S. after a powerful 6.8 earthquake strikes off of the coast of Japan. The Japan Meteorological Agency issued a tsunami warning for waves of 3 feet in height for part of the southeastern shores of Japan. All tsunami warnings were lifted shortly before midnight local time. And so again, as you guys know, that is they're way ahead of us across on the other side. Actually, I believe they start the time zones. So it is this morning for us. Monday morning, and it is a powerful magnitude 6.8 earthquake shook parts of southern Japan on Monday. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the earthquake was reported at about 7 miles to the southeastern or east-southeast of Miyazaki just after 9 p.m. local time or 7 a.m. Eastern time at a depth of about 30 miles. Miyazaki, located on the island of Kyushu, sits about 560 miles to the southwest of Tokyo. According to the National Weather Service National Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer, Alaska, there is no threat of a tsunami for the U.S. West Coast, Alaska, or Hawaii. So they're giving an update for the U.S. citizens that were wondering. And again, a lot of people very concerned about this as a result of what unfolded last month, where we literally had a California tsunami warning with the quake that struck with a 7.0. So buildings and houses were seen shaking on videos from local surveillance cameras in the city. And here you can see it, 11 miles southeast of that city, 6.8 magnitude at 9:19 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. And that's happening this morning on the East Coast, 7 a.m. So early this morning, there was that massive earthquake that rocked Japan. Now, this comes as I mentioned, you guys will recall, it was just last month, tsunami warning in California and Oregon was lifted after a 7.0 magnitude earthquake rocked California. The earthquake rumbled at around 10:44 a.m. local time, about 62 miles west of Ferndale, California, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. And here's actually some old footage on it from NBC News. It looks like, this is the old footage as Gavin Newsom is addressing the quakes. And now, right now, we're hearing he is addressing the fires taking place, which we're going to be taking a look at here just in a second. But you can see this was back on December 5th. It says updated. An earthquake ruptured off of California on Thursday morning, briefly triggering a tsunami warning for the coast of the Northern California area and southern Oregon. The earthquake, a magnitude 7.0 trembler, rumbled at around 10:44 a.m., about 62 miles west of Ferndale, California, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. A tsunami warning was issued for the coast from Davenport, California, to the border between Douglas Lane counties in Oregon. The Tsunami Warning Center canceled the warning at about 11:55 a.m. Anthony Mann, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, says Trump is the strong delusion sent by God. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Anthony Mann. I don't know if I agree with your statement. I'd be curious to hear more of your opinion on that. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Now, Humboldt County, the community on land closest to the epicenter, reported no injuries or deaths. Humboldt County District 2 Supervisor Michelle Bushnell told NBC News, but she said she had heard of broken water mains, broken windows in houses that had been dislodged from their foundations. About 10,000 people were without power in Humboldt County, State Senator Mike McGuire said. The 7.0 magnitude quake is one of at least 17 events that rattled Northern California on Thursday, with most of the seismic activity concentrated around Humboldt County. So there you have it. So that was earlier this month. We saw this absolutely rocking Northern California and Oregon. So a lot of people jumpy at hearing the news this morning of that 6.8 rocking Japan, and then those tsunami alerts coming out for Japan. And then we saw the U.S. Geological Survey coming out and clarifying for the United States, reassuring us that Hawaii, Alaska, California at this time, no tsunami warnings, no alerts. Now, this comes, though, while we are seeing that. Take a look. Just yesterday, 1 mile from Pleasantville, there was a 3.5 earthquake that struck. However, we're hearing that there was nothing to the magnitude of what we saw in Japan and nothing that is sparking major tsunami warnings. And also, this might contribute to it as well, as in the last 48 hours, as I mentioned, we saw this coming out. Earthquake prediction saying 50-hour warning of a major earthquake is likely in Southern California, most likely in Los Angeles or Ventura County during the next 50 hours from January 12th to January 13th today. So let me know your thoughts on this. Again, from my understanding, I don't think you can predict earthquakes, especially that far out. I think that if I understand correctly, the Richter scale will start gathering information, but I believe it's just like minutes, moments before they actually strike. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that you can predict earthquakes at least 48 hours in advance? If you think so, put yes. If you think no, put no. But it's been my understanding that you cannot. At least that's what I've been told. But like I said, I am not a specialist in earthquakes or these areas. That's just been my experience, that they just strike when they strike, and then you have to be ready. So let me know in the comments, do you think that you can predict them? Do you have any information on that? If you think so, you can. You believe you can, put yes. If you think no, put no. But again, my understanding is you can't. So when I saw this, I was a little bit skeptical. And as you can see right here, this post coming out regarding the earthquake risk for yesterday and going into today, it says readers provide a little bit more context on the image. And it says, according to the USGS, the United States Geological Services, there's no evidence that earthquakes can be predicted. Therefore, there's no data that supports these predictions at this time. So, yeah, let me know. I see a lot of people saying no. I see a couple people saying yes. USA 13 Bravo, welcome to the Ram Fam. Thank you for supporting the channel, hitting that join button. I appreciate it a ton with those monthly contributions. Not necessary, but greatly appreciated. And as a result, not only will all of the sources for the videos be in every video description, they're also going to pop up in your YouTube feed. Just a little something extra I do to say thank you to those that want to provide additional support to the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. I'll continue to keep you up to date on everything. I see a lot of people saying no. A lot of people saying no, that they have heard the same as me, that you cannot predict the earthquakes 48 hours in advance. I mean, if we could, then wouldn't people try to get out of the way or try to prepare in some other way? I'm pretty sure that you only receive information from the Richter scale just minutes or moments before. But a lot of people saying yes as well. They believe that you can predict it. So I'll have to do some research on it, but it's my understanding that you cannot. That's what I've heard. But a lot of people very concerned about this post coming out on X, claiming that there was going to be a major earthquake hitting in the next 48 hours, and that includes yesterday and today in Southern California. And also because right now they are just being rocked with the wildfires. So let's take a look at this right now. So here is an update coming out as to what is going on with all of the wildfires that are unfolding right now. And it has just been absolutely devastating. So this is a look at the live feeds coming out from the Associated Press. And you can see more wildfire evacuation warnings coming out. Man, so just more of these evacuation warnings hitting as they are just everywhere right now. We're hearing they're spreading. Last I heard, somewhere like 10-15% containment on the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, but they are just raging out of control. They can't stop them at this time. We're hearing the winds are picking up. A little bit of water actually would be nice. I don't think anybody wants a tsunami, but a lot of people telling me that they are praying for rain for California, that the rains would come, because right now they need something. They're out of water. They are having the scoopers, those Canadian scooper planes, go and scoop water out of the ocean and dump it on the fires, trying to stop things. They've got the chemical drops taking place right now, the fire retardants trying to slow things down. But take a look here. You can see here's an interactive map that shows the locations of damaged homes. I mean, look at this picture up here. This is absolutely devastating to see this. Actually, let me move myself out of the way here on this side so you can see it better. I mean, just like looks like a wasteland. Los Angeles wildfires updates. Authorities investigate the cause of these deadly fires. And what we're hearing is arson. People are lighting stuff on fire. More powerful winds are expected to trigger new wildfires that could set back the recent progress made in containing blazes that have destroyed thousands of homes and ended the lives of 24 people now is the count. Absolutely devastating. Here's what to know. Containment. In all 4 fires in the areas that have been consumed, more than 62 square miles, 160 square kilometers, an area larger than San Francisco. As of Monday morning, the Palisades fire was 11% contained. And that's, I think, the same thing that I'd heard just a couple days ago, 10% contained. Because as they're containing it, it is also growing in size and reaching further and further as well. So it's hard to get that number up. They've been sitting at around 10-11% containment for the Palisades fire. Contained and containment for the Eaton fire has now reached 27%. So they're getting progress, starting to get ahead of that Eaton fire just a little bit, about a quarter of it contained. Those 2 blazes alone accounted for 59 square miles, nearly 153 square kilometers. Now, the loss of life toll is up at 24 people now as a result of the fires, but more victims continue to be found. The toll is expected to rise as officials search through the rubble. Now, the National Weather Service issued red flag warnings for severe fire conditions through Wednesday, with sustained winds of 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers per hour, and gusts in the mountains reaching 70 miles per hour. The most dangerous day will be on Tuesday tomorrow, a fire analyst said. So unfortunately, we're hearing yet again, the reports are that the worst is yet to come because there's no rain in sight. The fires are spreading. The winds are increasing. And they're warning that this is not the end of it. We're nowhere close. This is just the beginning, and things are going to intensify. So they're giving these maps of updated evacuation areas, interactive maps showing, it says LA County recovers. A government-run program posted interactive maps on its website that show homes and other structures that have been damaged. The maps for the Eaton and Palisades fire allow users to click on an icon and to get a description of the type of structure, such as a home or a commercial building, and the type of damage, such as major or destroyed. Addresses may be entered into search the bar to find a specific location as well. Users can also see photos of the damaged buildings. House Speaker Mike Johnson says there should probably be conditions on disaster aid for California. Johnson spoke briefly with reporters at the Capitol on Monday, and his response was to a question about whether he was open to providing aid to California without any conditions at all. So Johnson said that there has been water resource mismanagement and forest mismanagement in California. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, you guys. Do you agree? This is what we heard from Donald Trump, accusing Gavin Newsom of mismanagement, saying that this is a poor job on the governor, that he should resign, he should step down. Same thing with the Mayor Bass as well. If you agree with Donald Trump, and now Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who is saying this is mismanagement of water resources, mismanagement of the forestry in California, put a 47 for Donald Trump. Now, if you disagree, and you feel like, no, this is not the case, this is not on the governor, this is not something that he can control, put CA for California. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I see El Gabriel putting new scum, so I see what his thoughts are on that. And yeah, a lot of people calling Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscum because they're saying that he has mismanaged everything and he has not been there for the American people, not tried to prepare for any of this. And that is why Donald Trump's coming out and he is accusing Gavin Newsom and also the Mayor Bass, saying, hey, they should resign. This is terrible management. I believe I heard him say that is one of the most beautiful states in the nation, and he has allowed it to just fall apart and has absolutely caused it to be destroyed with the homelessness, with the taxation, with the fires, with all of these various different things. Now, do me a favor while you're dropping those 47s, because I don't actually see any. Oh, I see a California coming in from Jennifer. Take a second, hit that like button if you appreciate the updates. Just takes a moment and helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest updates. So he said that they're going to take it into consideration providing aid to California, but it needs to come under certain requirements because this is mismanagement, according to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. It does come down to leadership, and it appears to us that the state and local leaders, they were derelict in their duty in many respects, Johnson said. He said conditions on disaster aid were his personal view and that he hadn't had a chance to socialize that with any of the members because we've all been very busy. But it'll be a part of the discussions for sure, he said. Now, lawsuit claims utilities equipment sparked the Eaton fire, but the investigation is still ongoing. So, again, people very unsure about what's happening here. Now, I can tell you that the Hollywood Hills one, we heard live while we were reporting on it, while I was reporting on it with you guys, that they said that they believe that that one was arson. They said there's no way that it was embers that picked up from other fires. They said the way that the wind is going, the mountains, something started that fire. They said they believe that it was arson. And so, again, this is speculation. We don't know for sure any of these yet. It's currently under investigation. But right now, a lot of people saying this could be eco attacks on the city of Los Angeles. Now, it says a lawsuit filed Monday against Southern California Edison claims the utilities equipment sparked this deadly Eaton fire burning just outside Los Angeles, and Edison has acknowledged fire agencies are investigating whether its equipment may have started a smaller LA area fire that broke out that same day. Edison said in a filing with the California Public Utilities Commission that a downed conductor was discovered at a tower near the start of the Hearst fire that broke out in Los Angeles' neighborhood of Silmar. But the utility added it does not know whether the damage observed occurred before or after the start of the fire. That fire burned more than a square mile and is now mostly contained. Authorities haven't determined an official cause of either fire. Wildfires that began last Tuesday amid hurricane-force winds have ended the lives of at least 24 people, according to the Los Angeles area. Now, in addition to that, if you missed it as well, we actually saw, I think it was Saturday night, a fire tornado that ripped through Los Angeles. The footage is mind-blowing to see it. I mean, it looks like it's something out of a movie, unreal. But we saw in the Palisades area, with the winds and the heat from the fire, a fire tornado that struck. So that was absolutely wild to see. And right now, like I said, speculation about where is all this coming from? How is this taking place at this time? Well, let's take a look at this article right here coming out from Fox News, giving some updates as well. You can see this coming out at 11:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And this one's going to give us a little bit more news. As take a look, California Firebug arrested, caught on video as police warn of arsonists. Now, this article says police and residents of Azusa, California, a small city in Los Angeles County, teamed up Friday to stop a suspect arsonist in his tracks, as at least 3 large wildfires threaten the region and winds are expected to pick up again. Wow. So there you have it. With increased officers on patrol amid the wildfire emergency, Azusa Police Department Captain Robert Landeros said that the first responding officers arrived quickly to the scene at Pioneer Park at 11:30 p.m. after neighbors confronted the homeless suspect who was still there when the first officer arrived. Now, this was intentional, Landeros told Fox News Digital Monday. Some of the neighbors confronted him, stopped him from setting an additional fire in the park. Video shows an Azusa officer handcuffing a man just steps away from a billowing brush fire, which authorities say county firefighters quickly extinguished. Now, you can see this picture right here. Azusa police arrested a 39-year-old homeless arson suspect, Jose Carranza Escobar, just steps from a small brush fire that they say he admitted to lighting as Los Angeles battles multiple large fires. And this is separate from the one that we saw before, as if you saw the video footage, there was another, they said, homeless individual that had a blowtorch on him that they said was going around lighting Christmas trees on fire. This is yet another situation where they have captured another individual that was going around Los Angeles lighting fires, and they're saying they believe that there are arsonists afoot in Los Angeles that are causing a lot of these fires. Maybe not all of them, but right now investigations are underway. Police have identified the suspect as 39-year-old Jose Carranza Escobar, a transient whose last known address was also in Azusa. They said he admitted to starting the brush fire. The arrest comes as firefighters continue to battle at least 3 active wildfires in Los Angeles County that has ended the lives of 24 people and damaged thousands of homes and businesses. Carranza was jailed on arson charges. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman was expected to hold a news briefing with more information about Carranza and fire-related looting arrests later Monday. Now, Landeros said that Azusa Police and partner agencies, including Hochman's office, the county sheriff's office, arson investigators in neighboring departments, and the California National Guard, are taking a zero-tolerance approach to arson as high winds and the dry climate fuel raging wildfires across Southern California. Everybody's out there, he said. We're watching. Even our citizens are, he said. So this is the second citizen's arrest on a potential arson threat in Los Angeles. And it says the foothills outside town are a high-risk fire area and also have homeless encampments where fires have broken out before. We're constantly conducting enforcement operations in that area. Residents are obviously on edge when there are major fires right now. Now, strong winds are expected to return to the region this week, which could fuel the existing fires as crews continue to fight them. They can both fan flames and knock down trees and branches that can burn. Azusa PD urges everyone to remain alert as fires continue to affect the county. Now, we must be cautious of individuals who may enter our community with the intent to start fires, he said. Last week, another group of Los Angeles residents stopped a homeless man seen carrying a blowtorch. He was taken into custody, but police said that they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with arson. Video of that incident shows him holding a torch head and a yellow fuel tank before at least 5 residents surrounded him and tackled him to the ground. Man, so there you have it, you guys. We are hearing that this is still raging on. Unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. And I see people asking, is power still out in LA? I heard a lot of people are out of power in Los Angeles. Is there anybody from Los Angeles that can update us on that? I can go ahead and take a look, but I, right off the top of my head, don't know. But I have heard that hundreds of thousands of people have been without power in certain areas of Los Angeles. If any of you know, please let me know in the comments. But again, just to recap, for those of you coming back in, let's go ahead and take a look at this. If you didn't hear, a lot of people messaging me this morning asking for updates on this. This morning, there was a strong earthquake that hit southwestern Japan, triggering a temporary tsunami alert. You can see this coming out at today, January the 30th, 2025. It says tsunami advisory lifted, though, after strong earthquake hits Japan's coast. The U.S. Geological Survey put the earthquake's preliminary magnitude at a 6.8. Now, a lot of people asking about the West Coast, Hawaii, California, Alaska, what was going to be happening. People still jumpy with that earthquake we experienced with a tsunami warning about a month ago. No tsunami threat for the U.S. after powerful 6.8 magnitude earthquake strikes off the coast of Japan. And here you can see it. This is what people were concerned of. Tsunami warning in California and Oregon lifted after that 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck last month. Back in December, we saw that. And take a look, though, people wondering about this ring of fire and will there be quakes in the area following? Well, we just saw yesterday as well. There was a 3.5 magnitude earthquake that struck Northern California, and people very jumpy because of posts like this as well, warning that in the next 48 hours roughly, there could be, it says in the next 50 hours, an earthquake on January 12th or January 13th in the Southern California area. And they put up this map saying it was at high risk. But again, it says right here, according to the USGS, there's no evidence that earthquakes can be predicted. Therefore, there's no data to support this current prediction at this time. I guess we'll see if this prediction comes true or not today. But they're saying that you cannot predict them that far in advance. And right now, as I mentioned, we are praying that there is some form of water or rain that comes to California. Not a tsunami, but some water, some help die down those winds, because Los Angeles fires, they are raging. Authorities are investigating the causes, but we're hearing still very little containment at this time. And we are seeing that there are arsonists that are being captured by the police as well. So pray for California. A lot going on right now. And like I said, we are having earthquakes, tsunamis, wildfires. We also have the threats of potential attacks here on U.S. soil, rumors of wars. We also have transition of power coming here just in about a week. So there is a lot unfolding, and I will keep you guys up to speed on all of it because, man, things are picking up here. It is intensifying, not just the threats of bad actors or foreign actors or potential cyber attacks, which are all hitting right now. But in addition to that, we also have natural disasters. Just seems like a lot right now, all at once. And this is all coming as we are waiting to see Donald Trump transition into the position of the presidency, and also warnings coming on that specific day as well. We've actually heard the FBI. If you missed it yesterday, go check it out. We saw FBI Director Wray do an exclusive interview on 60 Minutes. They're saying his final interview as the director of the FBI. And he said, as I'm leaving office, the biggest threat to the United States at this time is the CCP and their cyber attacks that could be coming here. He said he believes soon. So that is his final warning to the United States as he's leaving office. And before, a lot of people speculating that he was issuing some of these warnings because, well, he wanted the FBI to get more funding. But they're saying at this point, there's no motive because he's on his way out. He's leaving. He's just saying, this is my final warning to the United States before I leave, that we are under major threat of potential attacks. So if you missed that, check it out. Now, also, the video footage. I'm unable to show it in there, so I had to cut it out due to restrictions of replaying video footage. So for that one, I just read the articles. The video footage clips are cut out, but you can go check it out. And like I said, also updates coming out for you today on China and stimulus checks from the IRS. I will keep you guys up to date on everything. But that is the latest. For those of you that were asking about an update on the tsunamis and the earthquakes this morning, if you appreciate it, do me a favor, take a second, hit the like button. Let's see here. I love Yeshua. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says somebody is blaspheming in the comments. If somebody's doing that, you can just go ahead and block them. All you got to do is click on their name and then just click block, and then you don't got to see their comments. If I see somebody doing something outrageous in the comments, I'll block them for you guys, or I'll put them on timeout. Typically, though, like if people are arguing, I just don't bother. I try to just make sure I can get everybody the news, even if they have differing opinions, unless they're really being harassing. So just go ahead and do that. If someone's saying something you don't appreciate, you can just go ahead and block them. But that is the latest, you guys. Do me a favor. If you appreciate the updates, hit that like button for me. Help spread this out further. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. I'm going to get you more news coming out here very soon today, January the 13th, 2025. A lot going on. But you guys, that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.